So don't pop or whether is my name, and you're still checking out a very fresh edition of What's Up on TV. Okay, I did mention earlier that we had a very interesting personality in the house today as our guest. He's my brother. You know, but besides being my brother, this is one man that I have so much admiration for. He has my utmost respect. He's a man, you know, but most people really do not know this, okay? He's sensational. He has impacted the world with his own thing, with his uniqueness. Ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on with this introduction, but let me just introduce my guest on the show. He's none other than the man himself.
Greatest of the greatest of the greatest Gregorians. Up school. Upgrade.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Make I just give you one small secret. You know, say we did the same secondary school together. This guy was the neatest student in our set. If you touch him like this and you stain him, you are in soup.
I will beat you.
And he's in desk one day for the middle of the class. He was like the center of attraction, like, you know, the king and then all his subjects around him. And then I must add, me, I was in, you know, the cultural and dramatic society. Some people were in literary and debating. This man here, Mr. Nimie, was not in any society. But when we had those days where all the girls, you know, Holy Child, GSGS, Auntie Ayo girls, Evadelaja, when they come, now only these bros will come. Once he enters like this, we just know there's no hope for all of us. We'll just recline and go back to our starting point. Because Zidane will pack all the children, if you know what I mean. And as Zidane be as he thought, and so he thought. So me, back then in school, I was the shortest and skinniest human being. This I used to look at Zidane in the class. Then Zidane will look at me like this. Denrele, where's your notes? Collect my notes. 1 month will not return it. Child, I suffer for this boy and do.
Oh,
but now you. I'm so happy to be here.
Man. Okay, I was going to introduce you, but now you don't come to introduce.
No vex. I had to introduce you. I had to let them know that we know ourselves.
It's okay. Denrele,
yes.
It's really great. It is an honor to have you on the show. I know we talk, say, because of, say, we be friends and all that.
True.
People take them for granted. No, leave all that one. When you're a star, you're a star. And you've done us proud. I'm really very proud of you.
Thank you,
know,
sir.
But let's dig in now. Now, Denrele, let's start with fashion for you.
Okay.
You introduced your own kind of fashion in Nigeria. You know, you brought at the point a lot of people thought sorry, excuse me. A lot of people thought, this guy said no well, which kind of crazy things, he go spoil all in jeans, he go spoil all in things. But eventually it picked and everybody keyed into it. But I have always wondered, why haven't you started out at least one fashion line?
Hey, Zidane, you sure say if I start this thing, you go buy? Zidane, you go wear tear cloth, you go wear ram.
So long as a lot of people, okay, let me give you an insight. As at the time you started wearing shredded jeans, when you were shredding your jeans, they were not in vogue.
They were not actually.
But it became
a trend.
At the point, it became even bigger than a trend. In fact, there are a lot of people I know who will not wear jeans unless they are shredded.
It's got an estimate.
So what does that tell you?
Well, it does say that I knew it was going to grow into something huge. But you know, then they talk and say to craze stay easy, now the trekking they hard. Don't try that trekking, no. Don't join me on that matter. At that point, I had just few clothes. You know, I had 2 shirts, 3 jeans. You know my story now. You know how we started out. I could not afford to buy all the luxuries I wanted, or even some of the clothes. You know, back then I just thought, all my color shirts. I had one yellow, one green, lemon green, and orange. Bam! So I thought I'd arrived. When I entered school and I saw what students were wearing, that's Unilag. I just said, let me just maintain with all this my yaba, ujolegba clothes, you know, putting on. But it also made me look at fashion from a different angle. I got into modeling by chance. You know, it's surprising that my very good friend, who was my close friend in school, Linda Ikechi, we used to model back then. I mean, look at how.
I remember those days.
And we're the most.
Linda, the model.
We're the most hated people in my department.
I remember.
Our lecturers used to walk us out of class every day.
Prospect, you know.
Anything is possible. I think I should have done that since. You know, it's something I should have done since. But I love. It will shock you guys to know that I have a lot of our, you know, A-list celebrities who just call me and say, Denrele, I need something from you. I want to shoot something. If I name names, you'll go shout. And they come to me as they open cupboard. And they will take.
Name names.
And my colleague is even coming to my house tomorrow to carry clothes. You know, I mean, they liked. Tiwa would say, Tiwa just come to me like so something that what I liked. Do you think that I can manage? Even Mocha, when Mocha was shooting one of her videos, the last one, she came to me and got quite a lot of stuff. So people just come through, even screen goddesses, when the actors and the male artists say, and if I want to borderline go into crazy, okay, I can come and get one or two things off you. So I mean, my door is always open to people. My wardrobe is always open. I've had people collect and never return. Number 1 on the list, Beverly Osu, return my clothes. Yes, Beverly never returns them. Karen Ego, all these big brother wishes. Chloe, that's for me, pada.
They're gonna return the clothes.
They will not.
Before we do billboard.
They don't take them.
Let's talk a little bit about your family, background, and all
yes,
that.
So
I know you're a family-oriented person.
Totally.
A lot of you guys might not know this. I know Denrele, not Dewere.
Hey, you know the Adenrele.
I know this man to be one of the most responsible human beings I know. Most people might not understand, but he doesn't like to talk about that aspect. But today, we are going to. We want people to meet that part of you.
I can't say no to you.
Denrele.
Yes, sir.
I know at a particular period of your life, even when you had become very popular, there were some sacrifices you made. You were paying school fees for more than 9 people, and it even included your cousins.
Truth be told.
You were paying rent for people, you were paying, doing all
you know
stuff.
all these things.
I know now, you tell me now. I know that time too.
I thought you forgot.
I don't forget. So now, Denrele, for somebody, what would you say is responsible for this family orientation that you have? Because even till this moment, your entire family lives with you. You moved everybody from the mainland to Lekki to Shady Estate. You moved everybody there.
Yeah.
What would you say is responsible for this? Would you say it had to do with something that happened while you were growing up? Is your mom, always, kind of like, ring it in your ears that you have to be there for family or stuff like that?
True.
I just want to understand what drives you to do these things.
I think family is the best gift anyone can have, and I incorporated and inculcated family values into myself at a very young age. We did not get the usual upbringing that everyone will have, and I did not have the usual teenage dreams, childhood fantasies. I didn't have time to play ball on the streets because I was always working. I started working at the age of 11. Now you see, my dad, I was born with a silver spoon. Then that silver spoon diminished. We lost it, but I've worked really hard now to create it, to find it back. So for someone like me, who I was born in Hamburg, Germany, my parents were in Germany, we came to Nigeria, my dad was doing well, had a bakery, he was into, my dad calls himself a food technologist. Yeah. And my mom was just a regular housewife, foreigner, she's chilling in the house, long hair, feeling cool and fly. And then my dad lost everything. Like, I don't know how that happened, but they say now they're from village, then they follow. I'm saying all the people they come visit us for house that time. And my mom is one of the biggest influences of my life, because for a foreigner who was very alien to this country, my mom would have just carried all of us and said, you know what, I'm not staying with this Nigerian man who has lost everything. I'm going to my country. I know that I'll sort myself out and find another nicer man or something. But my mom stuck in Nigeria and she made it work. Lagos precisely. My mom became a teacher without certificate. She was teaching in so many schools. She was a lesson teacher. She was a private teacher, coaching, lesson, all of the, just name it. At a point, we're living in a very big mansion in Ijaniki, Agbara Estate. We moved from that house into an uncompleted building. I can never forget that uncompleted building in my life. It had no doors or windows.
Wow.
It was uncompleted, and we couldn't eat. So what we always had to do every time, because I'm very tiny and very flexible, I would scale the fence and jump to the next house, uproot cassava. We had cassava for boiled cassava morning, noon and night. We boiled it and we didn't have stove, so we're using charcoal, and I'll fan it till it will catch fire, and we'll boil this cassava and we eat it like that, boiled back to back. So you see, it was me and my younger sister, Ronke. Now my mom discovered she was pregnant and she was outraged because she was like, I can't have this child right now. So the school she was teaching in, the headmistress who I hooked up with recently, Mrs. Awupetu, Mommy, thank you for being part of our success story. Mr. Awupetu said to me that my mom came to her and said, I'm pregnant, I can't have this child. And the headmistress and the proprietress, the owner of the school said, no, you must have this child. You cannot afford you can't do this to yourself right now. So that's how my mom had my youngest sister, who of course everyone knows is the apple of my eye, because she came at a time where things were what bad. And the day I went to the hospital, I said to myself, this girl, you know, she was on the bed, and then she saw me, and then she started, I think she recognized me, and I think at that point in time I just said to myself, this girl is going to have what I didn't have and what my mom cannot give us right now, because of, you know, my both parents.
That was what triggered the whole family.
It triggered it.
Because Denrele, you are so family conscious.
Very
your family comes first before everything.
This
man was already a superstar and did not have a car. It was the only celeb that didn't have a car for years.
I was busting and biking.
Not because he couldn't afford it, but because a better part of his income was going.
It was. I made that promise. I had to fulfill that promise.
And you have done that.
At this point, it's still part of the things I'm doing, but now we're in a conducive environment where everyone can explore and now decide to, find what they want to do, hone in on their potentials. You see, and that's why I say till date, my mom, because she was going through so much, my dad couldn't get a job, because my dad is going to be 76 this year. At that point, my dad started late, so it was hard for him to get a job. And I was mounting pressure on him, but I said, you know what, let me let this man be. My mom was doing too much. At the point, I was beginning to see the strain. She was beginning to age. Finding out my hair was pulling, her hair was falling up. And then on top of that, we're now living in a family house. Because you see, I started living in my uncle's house, where I was the houseboy, the errand boy, the butler, the cleaner. Let's not go into that. But I learned life the hard way. Because my parents couldn't afford to send me to secondary school. I was in that house. But now living in our family house, Zidane. It's, too many stories. We'll stop there.
You're like a book.
But a very open one.
And I think we would have to at some point dedicate an entire show to an interview on you. I think they should bring you to speak more in the right places, because you have gone through a lot.